Anywhere you go in the world, if you heard this chord, an attuned musician would play this. If you heard this chord, if you heard this chord, or the sound of the blues. I can walk into a club in Sapporo, Japan, start to play a blues and play a blues scale, and it evokes a certain kind of mood. Color in the context that it's used with music is on a number of levels. I think perhaps the most obvious level is a parallel in aural phenomena, which would be timbre, the characteristic sound of an instrument. The reason why somebody playing the note on the piano sounds different than a saxophone playing that note, or a trumpet playing that note, or even two different trombone players playing the note. The characteristics of the sound, basically, are what we refer to as color. So, for instance, where we think of visual things in terms of green, red, purple, or whatever, we can also think of aural things in terms of instruments. For instance, a pure color of a trumpet might be analogous in a certain way to the pure color red. And then you mix it with, say, yellow, which might be a saxophone, and you get an orange. The visual colors that we think of as bright. Now, there's nothing in the world that says red has to be bright. That's a perception we have come up with. Red is equated with the bright brilliance, or yellow with the brilliance of a high trumpet, or the brilliance of a clarinet in a high register. One of the ways we alter the pure colors is by using sound modifiers, mutes, plungers, growls, half vowels. But a thing that Duke does in this piece and in other pieces is to take families of colors and blend them. For instance, if you take the pure sound of a saxophone section, that's one kind of color. But the minute you mix that saxophone section with trumpet colors, now you have a set of secondary and tertiary colors. And it seems to me that in art, that's what you do. If you mix blue and yellow, you know you get green. Now, you don't have anything quite that concrete when you're talking about music, but you do understand that if you mix this color with this color, this is the resultant color that you get. I think the notion of using color to elicit certain responses, timbral color, is sometimes very calculated. The master musicians who are in position of trying to show you their vision of the world, a Coltrane, a Duke Ellington, a Bartok, they understand how to use those things and use them in a way that's so unobtrusive that you don't realize you're being manipulated. Ellington ignored basically the formal training. He didn't feel like he was bound by the conventions that had been handed to him. Ellington simply experimented. Certainly he used colors much the way an artist does. Mood Indigo is one in which he did something that was so terribly unorthodox that people had to look askance at him when he did it. The notion of having a trumpet lead, having a trombone very high under the trumpet lead, and putting a clarinet on the bottom, that inverts the whole order of events. All of a sudden, now you've got these great new frontiers of sound